Okay, I'm just gonna look at the Zoom. Oh, we'll look at the YouTube. That way we can see. Okay. It's kind of dark in here, huh? Is that too dark? What do you think?
It's not bad.
Looks kind of dark. Okay, we're ready to go. Okay, for anybody who's just joining us on the YouTube or on Facebook Live, we're doing the Kanienkeha class, the translation of the Great Law of Peace, from English back into Kanienkeha. The reason for that is that when the Great Law of Peace was written down, recorded, which was approximately 150 years ago, that there was no native people that were writing. So it was a non-native that had wrote it down and put all male dominance and all of that into it. So every time there was any reference to creator or something like that, it was always he. It was always male. So anyways, this is the reason why for the translation. If you're on just the YouTube, you can't see the Zoom that is the Zoom is being shared, and you'll be able to see the text that we're reading from. Okay, so we're just going to do the opening. Water bottle.
Only hours ago, I'm saying the one who go we go out the road and I'm saying that's such a and that's a go we are at the theater King Star, and I read it in order who cared about our guests. It's a ghost of the Hajin go the Natsura Sua, one of course. So that's coming here, then you could be generous gestures that you go. Kan go betinga gasolina snel chutko ngoni io hage ai mostre dalla guarina na hoja io nya esat do nya essas Poi che non ha di ara guarina ugo sono di sani net ya go do ya di sono già yes Poi che non ha do io ne guarina go di drivo in hogo io di en rassediso Danni io dio no vai tossera I riunioni o una sola nel con i cavi seguo am sai do da dis che ogni ore se vuoi un se ne quei gonze cinicaya de so da ata conosciuto ne han categoria am stussege a otsto alla ganico raxa stand away sege Onegi ore tani ore sakadeli with Queni, that tennis again Nigoka. Isn't it? That's what he was Seruni. Yeah, 21.
Yeah. Okay, just for a little note for the people who are joining us, we're doing a translation again of the what's written in English of the Great Law of Peace back into Kanienkeha. So I know that people are putting forward a lot of suggestions about different words that should or shouldn't be used. This is not up for debate. We're not here to debate the words that are here. If there is any debate that is going to be taking place solely between Wayagirdo and myself as to what is the best words, the best to get the sentiment across. So if people have like different suggestions, yes, but don't be offended that we might not use it, because we are translating the law from our knowledge of the great law of peace and of Kanienkeha, of the language. Okay, so are we ready for that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're just gonna do like we usually do. I'll read the English. What wampum is this? Oh, 79. Okay, when the Confederacy Council of the Five Nations has for its objective the establishment of the Great Peace among the people of an outside hostile nation. Did you say Zage or Zade? Zade, okay. And the nation refuses to accept the Great Peace. Then by such refusal, they bring a declaration of war upon themselves from the five nations. Then shall the five nations seek to establish the great peace by a conquest of the rebellious nation. But only after all efforts at peace have been exhausted. Okay. At the end where it says en, between the two ens, put a glottal there. What do you think? That breaks it up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got a question on the second to the last line, the Mohawk part. Radi hunza het gata. Can you?
They bring an ugliness to the nation.
An ugliness to the nation. And that's talking about like what we continue from where we were yesterday about how the nation thinks, basically how the people think.
Yeah.
Radi hunza het gata. Radi hunza het gata. Okay, all right. You didn't see anything?
No, not as far as I could see. No.
I didn't gather anything either on this one. You want to do it one more time? Just see if we catch anything?
Okay.
When the Confederacy Council of the Five Nations has for its objective the establishment of the Great Peace among the people of an outside hostile nation. And that nation refuses to accept the great peace. Then by such refusal, they bring a declaration of war
Aderiosa Nyohawe.
upon themselves from the 5 nations.
Raudiri Huake, Gino de We, Whisk, not the Gahunzanera.
Then shall the 5 nations seek to establish the great peace
Tone Whisk, not the Gahunzanera. Ogonezake, Amzundus cannot go.
by a conquest of the rebellious nation.
Aun, Huati Nehoro, Nehra di Hunza Gat.
But only after all efforts at peace have been exhausted.
Nekti Nono, Aguegun, you took down Skona. The wish son.
That on the bottom,
Wish son.
on the bottom line there, Yodok
Down.
Da'u, there's a period after the A. That should be just a comma. Or go, yeah. Da'u. Da'u. Okay. So we'll just do it in, we'll follow you then.
Okay.
Tony Yorihoda,
Agayana Rasseroni,
Agayan Saruni,
Skanagoa,
Skanagoa,
Angueta Gosu,
Angueta Gunsum,
Netium Zade,
Netium
Radiserohas,
Radiserohas,
okay, Tium Zade,
Danotium Zade,
Ahadiri Hoyage,
Ahadiri Wayage,
Ahadiena,
Ahadiana,
Skanagoa,
Skanagoa,
Zok Ahadiri Hoyage,
Zok Andari Hawayage.
okay, well, thank Zok to Nono.
No.
When. The other means when too, but it's a shortcut. Nono Hadiri Hoyage,
Nona and Hawayage,
Gado,
Gando,
Aderiosera,
Andariosera,
Nyohawe,
Nyanhawe,
Raudiri Huage,
Roderi Huage,
Jinyodewe,
wait, Zinondawe,
Jinodewe, Jinodewe, and a whisk.
Zinondawe?
Yeah, Jinodewe. It will come. Like.
Okay, then, after any N, between the N and the T, you should put a glottal there. Oh, yeah.
Jinodewe, whisk.
Whisk.
Nadegahunzanera.
Nadegahunzanara.
Tone whisk.
What's the difference of New Honsage and here Nadegahunsanara?
Nadegahunzanera, that's the 5 nations joined.
Yeah, it's not the territories.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Tone whisk.
Tone whisk.
Tone whisk.
Nadegahunzanera.
Nadegahunzanara. Agunezage.
Aunzundus.
Aunzundum.
Skanagoa.
Skanagoa.
Okay. Ahunwadi Neharo.
Ahunwadi Neharo.
Yeah, Ahunwadi Neharo.
Ahunwadi Nehara.
Just take the O-N off.
Okay.
Ahun.
Yeah, Ahunwadi Neharo.
Ahunwadi Nehara.
Ne.
Ne.
Already Hunza Hetkata.
Radehunza Hetkata.
Gata.
Gata.
Nekchinona.
Nexinona.
Nona.
Okay. Oh, Dagwe Doktam.
Agwego
Yodoktaum.
Skana.
Yodokdaum.
Skana.
Skana.
Deowisan.
Deowisan. Wow, those are some tongue twisters there.
Deowisan.
Okay, I got a question there on the second to the last one in the Kanienkeha. Radehunza Hetgata.
Yeah.
Can you say that word there?
Radihunza Hetkata.
Maybe we should put a a glottal or a comma after that ga and then ta. The ta at the end.
Glottal by the ta. Yeah, that'll be.
When you say that, does that
Ready with the hit ga ta.
is it okay like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because when I was reading, if they're together, I can't see the ga ta. I can't see that little break.
But you need it.
We'll do it again. Okay, in this whole thing, just for people to take note, we hear this a lot that people say, isn't this supposed to be the great law of peace? But yet you're talking about war. And it's talking about the five nations waging war. But what you have to consider is that it's talking about the five nations waging war upon a nation that is foreign and that is already hostile to the five nations. So we're talking about a nation that is already warring against us. So where this comes into your everyday life, anybody on the planet, where, and we'll say especially for women, for the life givers, that every day you're violated one way or another, and most of the violations, you are aware of it, you accept it, you allow these violations to go further and further until maybe what may have been, say, a tiny little issue, till it becomes something that explodes and could break relationships or break friendships or something like that. What this is showing the person is it's showing you a process of how to determine when somebody else is violating you to the stage of where you have to say, where you have to draw the line. Right now, the reality is that most people are not drawing the line, not just women, men, everybody. What's going on the planet, everybody is allowing things to get worse and worse. So what's to be considered here is not the first thing that comes to the person's mind in thinking that, oh, great law of peace, why is it talking about war? Well, it wouldn't be talking about war if there wasn't already a hostile, aggressive nation that was already warring against you. So take this as whether it's a nation that's hostile towards you, or whether it is your friend, or whether it's your husband or your wife or anybody that's being hostile towards you. Everybody, in order to maintain your own personal integrity, you have to have a process of checks and balances where you know when to say that's enough, when you know when to close the door. That's what this law is about. When we know that the law is not something that is going to be applied to you, it's something that you must apply to yourself. So knowing this, that all the people must apply it to themselves, then this means the people must know themselves when to draw the line, when the door is closed, when you don't keep saying okay to the person that's violating you, where you have to say that's enough. So anyways, that's the thing about this wampum and the wampum that we did yesterday also. Don't think that just because it is something that is talking about great law of peace, don't think that there is not provisions for defending yourself against a hostile foreign nation, which means there is war provisions within the great law of peace. But the way that it is a war provision is only in defense. There is nothing within law that justifies like a preemptive strike, so to speak. That is an illegal thing.
Just in the sense of what you're saying, Janet commented, by a conquest of the other rebellious nation, implication war. So she's actually asking, what does it mean by a conquest? But now it was before you explained that. So then she says, yes, right to stand up for oneself.
Yeah. We got to figure, like, imagine we're in a position if somebody comes in here and pushes you Well, the first thing you're gonna say is you're gonna say something like, "Hey, don't do that," and then they push you again. You know, there's a limit of 3 times to all things. Nobody should allow themselves to go beyond the three. What would you call it? Like the 3 warning system. Meaning that as soon as the person comes and pushes you once, okay, 2 more times, that is the limit. You do not allow it to go any further. And when you do, when you finally stop it, the fact of a hostile, that somebody being hostile basically means that they're not gonna give up. They're not gonna say, "Oh, I'm sorry." They're not gonna say once you push them back. They're not gonna say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I did that." What they're gonna do is they're gonna come back at you twice as hard. So you have to understand that at some point, this process helps you to determine or categorize the level of the threat that you are facing. And so if the level of the threat tells you that, okay, this person is not stopping, then there is something that you have to do. Now, if we go to the ultimate scenario of not stopping, that person pushes you, you push them back, or first you say don't do it, then they push you again, and then they hit you, and then you gotta defend yourself. You try to get out of there, you can't get out of there because they chase you, they're after you, they're hostile. So that means at some point you, in order to save your own life, have to come to your senses as to that you may actually be forced into the ultimate scenario of having to take somebody's life. Now, you know that people are getting killed every day. People are getting raped every day. Now, the reason why this happens is because the individuals don't have the process in their own minds of knowing how to gauge the level of the threat and then to give the proper response according to the threat that you're being faced with. This is why people get killed. This is why people get raped.
France is asking, and what if you can't defend yourself?
Well, then, if you can't defend yourself, well, then you're getting into an area of where you're just a victim, and then it comes down to whatever. I mean, if we actually put ourselves in a physical scenario, you can't defend yourself. Well, then there's what else can you do? You'll yell, you'll scream for help, you'll ask for somebody else, things along those natures. But again, just remember, we're talking here in this example, you're talking about a nation. So if you're talking about a nation, then that can be extrapolated to any other scenario. From a nation, it could be extrapolated down to a state or a province or a group or a community or a clan or a family until the individual. So this can be utilized all the way down. So imagine if we're talking about the law and it only gave the example of an individual. So that law wouldn't be complete. So it gives the example of the nation so that it can be extrapolated down to the individual level.
But if somebody's aggressive, I'm looking at that, I would never, for me, I'm talking for myself, I'll read your face as soon as you get close to me, and I know that's already one warning for me. And if you're coming there, and then if you do raise your hand, and then that's it. I'm not going to wait 2 times because maybe you'll get next time you wake up, you'll be from being knocked out. So you got the flight or what do they call it? Flight or fight. Yeah.
Fight or flight.
You're just like.
And where does that come from? And remember in the image that you sent? Remember fight or flight? I think that comes from the adrenal, from the adrenal gland. And adrenal, of course, adrenaline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we played lacrosse, we played a lot of aggressive, real violent games, and you could tell when they send their bull over the side It's already one warning, you know. So when he gets there, if you're waiting for that second time, he'll drop you.
Right.
So, you know, you just gotta do what you gotta do, you know.
Mm.
It's not the same like in I mean, those are arenas, anyways. It's there's no rules. Just the best man wins at whatever it costs, you know.
The thing about peace is that for peace to exist, every individual has to affect peace, and every individual has to defend it. So every individual has to know, again, uh, has to be able to calculate the threat, the level of the threat. You're not, if somebody's coming at you with a knife, you're not gonna stand there and say, please don't hurt me, you know. And at the same on the same token, if somebody's coming at you with a knife, you're not gonna come out with a gun. You know, it's just to say how to properly uh, assess the circumstances and deal with it. This is what the great law of peace is. It's to empower every individual. And in this example, I'll say this example more than anything, even though it's talking about war on a nation level, more than anything, I say this applies to the women, that the women will learn more from these two wampums, the wampum yesterday and this one, as to basically how to protect yourselves in this world from the monsters that are in this world.
Liz is giving a comment, and she says, "Yes, I do agree 100%. A tolerance of three strike is very wise counsel. I try it every day to live this way. I must admit that it is not an easy way, but not standing up for oneself is not honoring integrity, and it really does harm you because you lose your self-worth."
Yeah. Okay, so we'll do it one more time and.
Nona de Gajoquanera,
Nona
Nona
de
de
Gajoquanera,
Gazaya,
Gatsahaya,
Wisnium Zage,
Wisniumsage,
Tuniori Hoda,
Toniori Hoda,
Agayanera Seruni,
Agayanera Seruni,
Skanagoa,
Skanagoa,
Angueta Gusu,
Anguetagunsu,
Netium Zade,
Netium Hunzade,
Radice Rojas,
Radice Rojas,
Danutium Zade,
Danotio Hunzade,
Ahadidi Hoyake,
Ahadiri Wayage,
Ahadiena,
Ahadiena,
Skanagoa,
Skanagoa,
Nona Hadidi Hoyake,
Nona Ahadiri Wayage,
Gando,
Gando,
Aderiosera, Nyohowe,
Aderiosera
Nyahoe. Nyahoe?
Nyohowe, yeah, it will go. Raudiri Huage,
Raudiri Wage,
Wage.
Chinodewe,
Chinadewe,
Wis Natega Hunzanera,
Wis Nadega Hunzanera,
Tone Whisk,
Tone Whisk,
Natega Hunzanera,
Nadega Hunzanera,
Ogonezage,
Angonezage,
Amzundo,
Ansundo,
Skanagoa,
Skanagoa,
Ahwadi Nehara,
Ahumwadi Nehara,
Radihunza Hetgata,
Neradi Hunza Het Gada,
Gata,
Gata,
and Nektinona,
Nexinona,
Aguego,
Aguego,
Udoktaun,
Yodoktaon,
Skana,
Skana,
Teohuisan, Teohuisan,
Teohuisan.
Uh-huh. Okay, I got two words or two phrases. I'll say that again for the women, for anybody this applies, but I'll say at this time more for the women for reasons that are not necessary to state. But anyways, I'll say the two most important things for you to know in this world is to be able to answer these two questions. Ganu desa sarode. What does that mean?
It means like where are you tied to?
Where do you sit?
Yeah, where are you tied to?
Okay, where are you tied to? That's basically where you associate yourself to. Like in this world, if you're looking at a whole bunch of so-called governments in this world.
Yeah, that's basically it. Elections. Say where are you tied to?
Yeah.
You know, it's Liberal or NDP or whatever.
It's where you group yourself together with others. Now, this is not really understood, but at one day in your life, you're going to find that these are going to be the two most important questions. Got nu desa da sarode. It's basically, like you said, where are you tied to? Where is your basically like your representation? And then nazat darodo. What does that mean?
Your clan or your clay.
So, what is your clan? Well, nazat darodo. Now, as some of you know, if you've been following us, you know that the clan system goes back to basically what is identified in non-native science as the protons, neutrons, and electrons. The turtle, wolf, and bear are in all things that way, just as protons, neutrons, and electrons are in all things. And so therefore, we know that these three elements make up all things. It's just the way that they are arranged that makes new things, that makes this separate from that. And so as we get diversity, then this is where you, the individual, has to define themselves. You have to define who you are in this world. And this is the thing that in the non-native world, you'll have no clue of these terms. Now, I won't say it in Kanienkeha, I'll just say it in English. Where do you sit? Where are you represented? And what is your clan? What family are you connected to? So, Ganu Desa Sarude, where do you
Yeah, where your like allegiances
We
tied
should
to.
write them down,
where
right?
your allegiances?
Ganu,
No way. There's the
W-E?
yeah.
Desa,
Da Saturday.
Desa, Rude.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
O-N, right? Rode or Rude?
There's a sort, but that maybe we should change that because it sounds so more like somebody's physically tight. There's
That's the way I understood it,
Yeah,
like the
okay.
umbilical cord.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's true. I know that.
Is it spelled that way or is it
that sort of yeah?
Ronte or R-O-T-E?
R-O. There's the sound there. That's good. Right.
An N?
No.
Saturday. And that's basically okay. Then where are you tied to?
Where are your ties? Yeah.
And not Zatdarodo.
Is that spelled right?
Yeah. Clans.
Which one is your clan? Which is your clan?
Yeah. Which is your clan? You could. It'd be easier if you said, "Oh, he's out the road. Oh, he's out the road."
What does that mean?
What is your clan? When he's out the road.
Okay, then what does not Zatdarodo mean then?
He's out the road. It's almost like
No, just not Zatdarodo.
he's out the road. It's there's some middle. There's some missing words. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's out the road. I will understand it because I'm talking to you. But if somebody from another Kanienkeha say what she's saying, but they'll know what you're saying once they see the English. But they'll say when he's out the road.
Ponies out the road. Now this, as you know, for the women, you you do not have to be born of a clan, like say Warrior Geru and myself. When we talk of a clan, we're talking about our birthright. But that as the clans have been lost to almost everybody on the planet, that it's not clans, it's not just the native people here of Turtle Island that had clans, it was all people. And that is still, you still see traces and remnants of this in the Scottish people, Irish people, different peoples in Europe. Let's see, there's in Norway, I believe, there's still some traditional indigenous people there who still carry clans. But for those who have lost their clans, that there is a process of how you can determine what your clan is. Not by the person saying, okay, this is what the clan that I want to be, like what we found out with Anik, that there is a process that if you subject yourself to it, somebody could ask you, Oni Satarodo, and you'll be able to state precisely what your clan is, precisely where your origin is. So things like this are very important, because whether you know this or not, it's not a matter of that somebody's going to be there to ask you this question. But at the end of our day, when we are done, these two things will apply to us.
Elizabeth says, as a woman, I am tied to the moon, grandmother moon, and her influence, and those animals who worship her, especially the wolf.
Mm-hmm.
And then Patricia White says, always love to come and listen to you, like a tall, cool drink of good water for my soul.
Oh, Negonos. Okay, so we're done, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay, so again, if this is the first time you're joining us on Sunday, we used to do this every Thursday. Now we're changing it. We're doing it every Saturday and Sunday at 4:00. So, but as you know, it's posted anyway, so you could watch it at any time. But if you want to be here with us live to have this participation, then every Saturday and Sunday at 4:00. And as you know, we may be a little earlier, a little late. No, we'll never be earlier. We'll always be later. If we're not on time, we'll be late. So it's just the closing. Is there more of this?
Wakatsanuni, Agwego Gunungwe, Danorunungwe, Skatni, Kanienkeha. Digits está Soko, Danoxotayanda, Jesque Panchita, Zapotecnia Honsage, Mexican Guanerista, Yanatayuni Yankinaserista, Antoharage Ganasesne, Radinyangahaga Gohnowage, Newisni Honsage, Onowarage Governoge, Teiti Nuerado Garumwa Ganiakeso, Dano Yankisota, Santanaka Garaqua, Dano Yankinista, Honsage, Danaguegos, Cat Necunumwe. Teiti Nuerado Tarañowago, Danosa Whiskara, Sini, Gañat Taragero. Agwego ununquasun adano agwea quatsire. Rariñasto, Ronatahuni, the Discarewa, Gayunki, Atagan Hadanda, Waran Hetsera, Neawe, Katsanhian, Neague, New Hontage, Tintin Orado Jagun, Sedan, the Ganawida, Nawego Diane, the Norodiane, Neyohahio, Canigurio, the Nogayandawana, Gayanara Saragoa, the Nodegani de Yohade. Ayunki ataken hadanda waran hetsera ne gasastansa ne gunungwe da nogayanda wana gasastansa runungwe da nogatena yodaxa. Eresawet. Toganina yotanisa wanikuna.
Yeah, true. See you later. I went swimming a little while ago. The water was really cold, but it's really beautiful when you get out.
Yeah.
Sasodios.
Just wait till you see the moon come up. She's amazing tonight.
Oh,
Who's
yeah.
Who?
Elizabeth is saying about Grandma.
Bright.
That's
Bright
not,
orange. She's amazing.
that's not fair. You get to see her before we do.
Yeah.
Hey, that you can predict the future to us.
Oh, we can't see her. Eh?
Yeah.
She doesn't have her camera on.
Tell us.
Seriously, just wait till you see it tonight. It's absolutely staggering. I took some pictures. It's just bright orange. It's the harvest moon, isn't it?
Yeah, what did they call it? They call it something in the news. There's something bigger or brighter about her. Something. This moon. I seen
Well, I
it.
went just as she was coming up, and there was clouds, and then it was much bigger than normal and really, really bright orange, but only for about half an hour, and then
Where's
goes
it
to
coming out?
normal.
Did you howl at the moon?
Of course.
Well, then it'll be echoing around the world then tonight because we'll be howling at her later too.
Okay, happy howling.
All right, Anna.
That's the Diaz.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Anna.
Gracias, Díaz.